So Dennis, you mentioned the automation functions briefly earlier. Could you show us how to get in and out and select tracks?
Sure, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So down here we have basically write, read, and isolate. Really, it's as easy as, say I wanted to write automation to channel 6 through 8 and put those in write. So I hold down write, I go up to the arc, touch 6, and can slide down to 9 if I want to do 14 and 15. I also can do that. Now those tracks are in automation write. All you have to do is hit touch on the button, which puts Logic into touch mode. So we hit play, we get going through, we change any of the automatable parameters, and it writes the automation right to Logic. It's as easy as that. So there's a nice function with the Tango is there's these set of buttons that are underneath the faders. They're called hold buttons. So say we're in chair mode, and we want to see channel 1 and 2, and basically we want to keep 1 and 2 in the first 2 slots and it not move anywhere else. So basically we just hit the 2 hold buttons, and then we can touch any segment, slide it way down, do whatever we want. 1 and 2 will always stay in the first 2 slots. It's an easy way of keeping channels you want to keep an eye of in a certain place. If you're used to just having your 2 guitar tracks there, you can always hold them. They'll never move. Doesn't matter what you touch. If you take it out of chair mode or go to an ergonomic setting or anything, they will always stay there. The first 2 slots will always stay there. So another feature in your active section here up at the top that basically never moves is your monitoring section. So if you actually touch the monitoring section, it opens up into another window. Gives you all of your levels, left, right, center, rear surround, left and right rear surround, and sub level. You have 2 talkbacks that you can talk to, which also, this section up on the top here, you have basically 2 talkbacks, a big knob, which is not really big, and if you push the knob, it gives you a dim level, which is the right-hand side. And then if you turn the knob under when it's in dim, you can change the actual dim level. You also have a reference level, and you have a big, medium, and small speaker sets, and a mono set. And you also can mute any of the outputs by just touching them. And another interesting function of the Tango is that we have these solo buttons here. Basically, you know, of course, what a solo does is you can just hear those channels. But say that it's if we were way back here, we're not going to see the channels that are solo. We're not exactly sure why they're soloed. You look around quick. So what you have is a big red button that lights up that says solo clear. So if anything's solo, all you can do is just touch that, and it unsolos the whole desk or all of the channels. That way, it's quick. You don't have to go looking around for what's soloed and what's not soloed. And also, what the solo clear does, if we come up here, is basically an escape button if you want. So say we're in group mode and we're starting to group stuff, and we're like, yeah, actually that's not what I want to do. You can just go to solo clear, and it basically escapes you out of what you're doing. It's kind of a, an escape hatch where if you mess something up, you don't have to actually live with it and go back and change it. You can just get out and start over. It also, you have 2 memory settings here. So what you can do is you can hold down the memory and basically touch any piece of the Tango, send levels, EQs, fader levels, pan, any of that type of stuff. Store it into the memory and actually go back and inject it. There's these buttons underneath that are called inject. The inject button allows you to either take a memory and save it, or what you can do is you hold down the inject. You can grab any arc segment and send that channel to that fader in front of you. And then the solo clear, if you have memories, you can just go in and hit the solo clear, and it will clear that memory out since you only have 2 memories.
So Dennis, this the Tango setup definitely to me resembles a pro product of the highest caliber. It's clearly evident in the function, the versatility, and also in the construction of the desk. This looks like steel chassis.
Yeah, it's all steel chassis. There's a piece of glass actually over the touchscreen. The way we have it set up here, we just have it on some racks, but if it was in a studio, this end cap actually comes off, and the two pieces actually snap together to make one seamless board. You wouldn't actually see the difference in size here. Real high quality faders. The scroll wheel has nice inertia to it. It's a nice heavy scroll wheel, and everything just feels real nice. All the silver parts, everything is touch sensitive. It feels very pro to me.
Sure, I agree with you, and I would say, you know, just in standing here at the ergonomics of the design of the screen and the angle and the overall chassis and the layout of the knobs, it's non-eye fatiguing, and it's getting you in front of your work.
Sure.
And I like that about
And,
it.
if you look at it, yes, it is angled here, but if it's sitting on a desk, the top of the console is 9 inches off a table if you had it sitting on a table. So it's not way up in front of you like you'd have two screens, you know, as flat walls in front of you. It's only 9 inches. If you needed to put screens on that side, screens will fit right over it. Most of the time when I've seen them set up, usually the screens are off to the side with this directly in front of you. So really, it's not any higher. It's actually probably lower than most meter bridges on an analog console or any controller that are out there now. So.
Well, it definitely seems like I could not look at the monitor for weeks at a time using these controllers.
Yeah, you know, it's the kind of the thought is to get the mouse and the keyboard out of your hand, and just by touching the screen. Of course, there is a nice section here where you can put a trackball or a mouse if you wanted to keep one right here on the actual Tango. Of course, with the on-screen keyboard.
Certainly no need to put one in front of you.
Not really, no. It's a keyboard. It doesn't.
Mac or PC.
Mac or PC, and it talks to the computer through a separate program that's running called VirtuKey. So, like I said, if you're actually on the desktop, it sees that keyboard as a keyboard. Even if the DAW actually, if Logic or Pro Tools or Pyramix isn't running, you still can use that keyboard. Because it's a separate program that's running on the computer anyways.
So you can search, you know, your Finder, you search your applications and open programs and be involved with your computer rather than just your DAW.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, Dennis, well, I really appreciate you showing us the SmartAV Tango and its expansion chassis here, and you're going to leave this with us, right?
Yeah, it'll be here.
Oh, that's
we'll
great. We need some time with the stuff to play here in the Meth Lab and use it over a wide array of applications and see what this thing is really capable of on our own time in the real world.
Sure, and that's the most important
part.
Sure,
absolutely.
I can show you features all day, but...
Yep, you got to get it marching through battle, and, you know, that's like anything.
Exactly.
It's all about the workflow and your personal aesthetic.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And if anybody has any questions, give Mercenary a call.
Sure.
You know, they can answer questions or push them on to me and I can answer the questions.
We're always willing to answer questions.
Yeah.
I'm particularly willing to take your cat.
Yeah.